this award-winning journalist usually joins us for the hottest entertainment news,
Yes.
but today he's sharing a little bit about himself in a steamy new book, which takes us back to the 1980s.
All right, it's called Dancing Between the Raindrops, based on actual events I can still remember from the 1980s in New York City. Please welcome back our friend and entertainment journalist and author, Nelson Aspen. Great to have you here.
Today I am the news man.
Yes.
There we go. Good to see you guys.
You've written a lot of books.
I have.
How many books?
Hazel was asking me, it's either 6 or 7.
Wow,
I've lost
okay.
track, but this is my first novel.
Okay.
It's semi-autobiographical,
Okay.
and I say semi because I wasn't sure I could really remember it accurately. So this way, I get to pick and choose.
Yeah.
I combine some characters, I adjust some events sequentially, but it's 99% true.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's not, I mean, it's actually true story, not fictional.
It's very steamy. I've
Ooh.
fictionalized the characters, but it, you know, it was a very special time, New York City in the 80s.
Okay.
So I celebrate the music, the pop culture, the food scene, the political scene. I mean, I interacted with Donald Trump and Princess Diana, and you know, I was here when John Lennon was murdered, and all of those big events are there. They're celebrated. They're remembered. Oh, there I am. That's back when I had hair.
Oh my God.
But you know, we were having so much fun, and I wanted it to be fun, although we were living under the specter of the AIDS crisis. That was all going on, but you know, when you're in your teens and 20s, you still manage to have a good time, and that's what the book celebrates.
Of course, and the central character in the book is New York City. I mean, New York City in the 80s and 90s was such an interesting place. From the stories my parents tell me too, and I was here.
Parents.
Well, I mean, I was born in New York City in the 80s. But we moved to New Jersey relatively quickly, so I'm not saying it because I'm young. I'm saying because
your parents will love the book.
Yeah.
Your Christmas shopping is solved.
Yeah, exactly. Talk about the New York City in the 80s compared to New York City now, for those who may not have experienced the juxtaposition of the two.
Well, first of all, a very important thing for me was the drinking age was 18 back then. So we were able to run around much more freely than you would be today. And I don't know, it was a very interesting time with Mayor Koch running things. It was just a little bit more free-spirited, and that's just because I was a kid myself. So your parents will appreciate a lot of the references to the restaurants, the nightclubs, that kind of thing. And that's why I call it Dancing Between the Raindrops, because my very conservative father, I would come home for the holidays and he would say, I don't know how you survive. It's like you're dancing between the raindrops. And that's exactly what we did. And I'm lucky I'm here to tell the tale.
Well, some of the characters you use their real names, but other ones you disguise. Why is that?
Well, I mean, I'm a nice guy. I've survived 30 years of being an entertainment reporter because I know which fights to pick and choose and all of that kind of thing. So yes, I want to celebrate greatness, but I don't want to besmirch anybody's memory. And there are a few beloved TV, Broadway, film characters that are mentioned in the book that I've had to disguise their identities because I don't want to destroy their legacies. But if you're very clever, you'll be able to figure it out.
Right. You mentioned, you name dropped Princess Diana before, right? That you had a, did she really give you your big break?
I would not be sitting here talking to you today if it weren't for Princess Diana. I was back when New York Sports Club was brand new and there was one on every block in the city. I was a very popular aerobics instructor. Leg warmers, headband, lycra, you know, the whole thing. And I was tasked to train Princess Diana in that hot new workout of the late 80s, step. So I went to London to teach the princess step, and while I was there, I appeared on the morning show in England. I did 2 different morning shows that gave me a 10-year career. From there, I was propelled to Australian TV, where I worked for another 20 years. So my career in breakfast television was all traced back to that encounter, and that's in the book as well.
So how are you going to celebrate the release of your book today?
Yes, today it will be available. Well, I'm going to be coordinating. This is how I'm going to celebrate. I'm not going to do traditional book signings in bookstores. I'm going to be coordinating happy hour, of course, happy hour events at restaurants and bars around the city. So you'll be able, over the course of December and January, to come hang out at different venues around the city, celebrate New York, have an 80s themed cocktail, an 80s themed playlist, and we'll celebrate the release.
Yes.
Well, congratulations on your 6th or 7th or 8th book.
Yeah, really.
I'll be back for 8 and 9.
Okay, good.
Looking forward to it.
Welcome back anytime, Nelson. And his new book, Dancing Between the Raindrops, based on actual events I can still remember from the 1980s in New York City, now out, available everywhere that books are sold. There you go. Great to have you here.